All right, thank you for tuning in to another special edition of the Gemix. We are broadcasting live right here from Wicked Bloom, along with 1/3 of the Diamond District's DC's own Uptown X.O for his album listening party, Culture Over Corporate, along with the producer of the album as well, man. How your brothers doing tonight?
What up, what up, what up? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how you feel? Another baby, finished, completed?
No doubt,
You know what I mean?
doubt. I feel wonderful, man. I feel wonderful, and it's more to come. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool.
How you feel, Drew?
As producer, how you feeling, man?
Overwhelmed, but I feel good though. Yeah.
So I didn't know that you had one producer of it, in a time where we have, 15 producers, on a track. How did it feel, and what was the synergy like working with one producer?
Well, I strategically did that because I want the world to know that DC got a alternative sound across the way from go-go. You know what I'm saying? I'm from DC, native, grew up on go-go. My grandfather was one of the managers of one of the first go-go bands, the Young Senators. But coming up on U Street with DJ Soho in the true school, Soyo like Toyo, you know what I'm saying? Right. So coming up on U Street with DJ Soyo and DJ Earth One, Enoch, Born, Infinite, you know what I'm saying? That old crew, true school, it really opened my eyes to that world that I'm talking about right now that has this completely the side on the other side of the spectrum, the sound on the other side of the spectrum. That's what I call it. You know what I'm saying? So the DC backpack, tracks like Riding with me and Odyssey, then tracks like Streets Won't Let Me Chill, Diamond District. That's like a little bit of the DC sound. So I wanted to show the world what it is from some of the best hip hop producers. So I got Drew Dave, and I got Odyssey coming up. I got Kev Brown coming up. I got my man Aleem Bilal, and more credible producers from the city, you know what I mean, that need their recognition, like Sauce from Backyard, like Stinky Dink, like Lil Benny, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And how was it for you working on this project?
It was a dream come true. X has always been one of my favorite artists from here, and just in general. So for me to lock in with him has been it was dope. It was dope. Yeah.
That's dope. So it's funny that you mentioned go-go, which is synonymous with DC. How was it coming up in a city that's predominantly dominated by go-go? Did you have any pushback from the go-go scene while you were doing hip hop?
It's not really the go-go scene, but it's like back in the day, it wasn't cool to rap in DC because we had a high concentration of our own culture. It's like DC times DC times DC times DC. That's how I felt. Right now, it's a little watered down, and I think that as it multiplied, it started dividing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Into two sides. So you got the hip hop side of the city, and you got the go-go side of the city. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. So you mentioned a couple songs from the album. What can the fans expect from this album?
Drew, you want to talk to him? Talk to him, Drew.
Just some hip hop shit.
Some hip hop.
Yeah, that's
some hip hop shit, right?
Man, we brought this shit back, man. You know what I'm saying? They say it felt like when DMX came back in '98 and when Puffy and them was doing all that other shit, and DMX came back and put things right into perspective. That's what I came back. Things went left, went astray. I just came back to put things back into perspective. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's it.
So what is both y'all's opinions on the current hip hop scene in DC? Because for the longest time it was Tabby Bonet for a while, and then for a while it wasn't hardly anybody outside DC than Wale. So what's your take on the current DC hip hop scene?
I like it. It's definitely taken. There's a couple different lanes in the city. It's definitely taking like an EDM type influence. You got Chaz French, Internet James, GoLink, Cicero is a couple other people. Then you have like Big Flock and Gunu, and you still got people like X and the old school people, YU, Diamond District. So I definitely like the way it is now. There's still a big go-go influence in the music, but it's I like it. It's diverse. It's diverse.
Shout out to I Am Northeast. Shout out to Light Show. Shout out to the whole All His Own crew. My man Sniper B, Gordo Brega. It's so many artists, man, out here that is so talented. It's almost like Harlem Globetrotters. You know what I'm saying? dude, some of these dudes is better than guys in the NBA. It's almost like the N1 mixtapes, the vibe and the talent down here. You know, you have to be there to know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just a drop out of that ocean. You know what I'm saying? That y'all witnessing.
I'm not gonna let you say you're just a drop, because I've known XO for over 10 years, and I seen him grow up. And one thing, and I told you this before, I normally don't say this, but he stood out to me, and I told you a long time ago, I said, you have it. And so I'm not gonna let you are a drop in the overall picture, but you are the voice, you're a leader, and you're making it happen. The question I would have for you, because I remember like from you starting out to now, what do you feel that has been the biggest influence to you as to grow as an artist, to be able to put an album like this versus, let's say, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, that made the difference for you to come up with this concept at this time that made you grow into the artist who you are now? I know that's a loaded question, but just, you know.
Life, maturity, and study. You know what I'm saying? Life, maturity, and study. You know what I'm saying? Having questions, and then finding those answers, not asking nobody, but finding those answers to the questions that I had about life. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So being 1/3 of Diamond District, is the energy different, or is there a different thought process in recording a solo album?
It is. It's harder because I gotta write more verses. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, Diamond District, it was like, yo, I lay my one verse down and we good. You know, with this, I'm coming up with the concept. I'm coming up with everything. You know what I mean? So, I'm blessed, man, to do this, man. But you know, like I said, man, this is a reflection of God's greatness, man. Everything that y'all witnessing, everything that y'all gonna hear from this album, man. You know what I mean?
And when will the album be released in stores? When will it be out?
It's on all platforms digitally right now: Tidal, Spotify, Google Play, and we'll soon announce a release date for the physicals. We're gonna do some vinyl as well.
Okay. Will you mind letting people know where they can find you at, and also where they can purchase the album?
iTunes, Bandcamp, Amazon, Google Play. And you can find me at Uptown X.O _Elu on Instagram, Uptown X.O on Twitter. You know, get at me, man. Follow me, keep up with me, man. We got a movement going on. It's culture over corporate, man. Culture over corporate. The main concept behind it is pushing empowerment and promoting empowerment instead of promoting people being so much of having a consumer mentality. You know what I'm saying? Buy this, buy that, buy that. So if we're gonna have that mentality, at least let's spend the money with each other. As you see, I got on, you know, something from, you know, everything I got on is from somebody that I know, grew up with, and they from the city. You know what I mean? So that means something other than just wearing polo or whatever. You're never gonna see these guys or meet these guys. So let's not indirectly empower others, but let's consciously and aggressively empower each other by spending our money with each other. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Yeah. And where can people, again, contact you if they want to get some beats or work with you?
Y'all can find me at Drew Dave 703, DEREWDAVE 703.
All right.
On Instagram.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And you can find us, the Gemix DMV on Twitter, the Gemix DMV on Instagram. I'm sorry, the Gemix on Twitter, the Gemix DMV on Instagram. Find our group on Facebook, / the Gemix. And you can email us at gemixdmv@gmail.com. And we out of here. Yeah, we just wanted to grab a